you ready to kickstart your week with some dirt slinging and tire slaying action motorsports radio that packs the biggest guests?
Hi, Ken Block here.
Hey, my name's Jolene Van Butte.
What's up, Brian Deegan here.
Vaughn Ginn Jr. here.
They've been thrown into one show that has broken down the barriers of what a motorsports radio show should be. This is the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, with support from General Tire, KMC Wheels, Rigid Industries, DirtFish, Gibson Exhaust, and MTX Audio, with your host, who also happens to spend his weekends flying 800 horsepower trucks through the dirt, Jim Beaver.
When was the last time you saw an off-road or rally driver begging to get behind the wheel of a NASCAR IndyCar? Yep, not happening, but you sure see these pavement racers begging to drive our cars.
And his partner in crime every week, a self-proclaimed Canadian moto chick who was jumping triples and taking podiums before most guys even learned to ride, Amy Hood.
No one knows how to say my last name. Like, is it really that hard? Amy Hood, like I'm from the hood. Don't get it twisted.
Sit back, strap in, and be prepared to join us as we take you through a motorsports ride like no other. Here is the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other, Jim Beaver.
Good morning and welcome to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Hood, bringing you 2 hours of action-packed action, motorsports action today. Is that enough action for you? I don't know. Yeah, man, Jim Beaver here. Great to be back. Taking last week off. We'll get into that here in just a bit. But, oh, man, today's guest lineup, second to none. I guess, last show we had Dungy, Roxon, Colette Davis. Now we got Tanner Foust, Miss Supercross herself, Juliana Daniell calling in. Also, Joe Duncan going to be calling in hour number 2, talking some Polaris Razors and Terracross, the makings of an epic show. My partner in crime, Amy Hood, should be calling in here in just a minute. She's going to be bouncing in and out today, working on a few projects, but she will be on the line for a good part of the show today. Man, just great to be back. Weather here in Arizona is beautiful. I've been spending some time out in the desert in my Polaris Razor and having a whole lot of fun. But we got a lot to talk about. Red Bull GRC kicking off this weekend, Pro Motocross kicking off, Laughlin Desert Challenge in the books, a whole lot more. And don't forget Rally America coming at you here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors R.J. has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder R.J. Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Looking to have some fun on four wheels? DirtFish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at DirtFish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver, Amy Hood in the house, and I got to say it's been a while since we've been able to say Jim Beaver and Amy Hood in the house. For one reason or another, you and I haven't been in the same place at the same time in a few weeks, so it feels pretty damn good, Amy.
I know, it's been forever, and I apologize, you guys. I love chatting with everybody here once a week, but it's been crazy summer so far, the kickoff of my race season and I guess my busy travel season. So I've been out and about, around and about. I've been injured, coming back. It's just been really hectic. So I appreciate you guys being patient with me, and welcome back. Thank you.
Yeah, well, and I know I've had a lot of fans hit me up. Hey, you weren't on air last week, and then you missed the Olympus Rally, and I know I was supposed to be in Washington last weekend doing a bit of Rally America radio, and just to let everybody know, I did have a death in the family. I was up in Minnesota all last week, so everything is good now. Thanks to everybody for reaching out. But there was a reason why I was missing some stuff, and I was a little MIA from social media last week, but back in the grind of things this week and ready to talk some motorsports and whatever else. I don't know.
Yeah, we got lots of stuff to talk about this week. I mean, it's been a crazy couple of weeks, and being gone last week and back this week, I think we have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. We got some awesome guests. I'll be in and out today, but we got a good show for you guys today. Yeah,
for sure. Tanner Foust, we got GRC kicking off in Phoenix this weekend. We got Juliana Daniell on the line. She's going to kind of be recapping her I don't know. We got all kinds of questions for her, and hopefully be recapping Supercross 2016 with her. But I do have to mention, and I don't know if you saw it over the weekend, Amy, but everybody that's a fan of this show knows that Jolene Van Vute, a good friend of mine, and Amy's as well. And did you see yesterday? She took over the Rockstar Energy, not Instagram account, but their Snapchat account. But more importantly, the first time she has been on a motorcycle since her accident. She's down there in Florida, took it to a motocross track. I was texting with her, and it sounds like things were epic.
No way. Okay, I hate me, everybody right now in the social media world, but I'm probably the only person who has not got on the Snapchat train. I'm sorry. I really think when I get a new phone that I'm going to right now, like I'm maxed out in storage pretty much every day. I'm deleting stuff, deleting photos just to get some more storage, but I've just not been on the Snapchat train. So, and I feel like I missed out in a huge sector of life, whether it's racers' lives or my friends' lives or stuff that goes on in the world. Like, there's the Instagram world, the real life world, like when you're at events. Oh, were you at this event? Hey, did you see on Snapchat? And it's, hey, did you hear about whatever? Like, Snapchat is its own sector of life that I'm missing out on. And I've been away from it, and I need to get on it.
Yeah. Well, I know I've got a Snapchat account, and I can't say I post a lot to my stories. I get tagged in a lot of things and share some stuff. I've got some friends, and we share some personal. I don't want to say personal stuff because it's nothing that's top secret or anything like that. But kids pics and stuff like that. Like I don't know.
Pics, yeah.
I've never jumped into it with both feet. I've posted a bit here and there. Like, my following's continuing to grow, and I put zero effort into to it. So all of you that are following me and keep friending me and following me, thank you. But I apologize. I guess I need to step up my Snapchat game. But I've always judged social media by one person, and he defines social media for athletes and things like that, and it's Ken Block. So my thing has always been, if Ken Block is on a platform, then that's probably a platform I should be on, because Ken has guys paid, tons of money to know where to be at, what to do, and, and how to, give return on, to sponsors. And, Ken, I never jumped into Instagram until he did. And obviously he's got like 4 or 5 million followers on Instagram at this point. So like 2 weeks ago, Ken opened up a Snapchat account, and I go, all right, well, Ken Block's on Snapchat.
Okay, if he does, I do too. Oh my God.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, so I need to start using my Snapchat account. So Ken Block's officially on Snapchat.
What's cool about Snapchat is you get to see, and like this is why I think if I were to get Snapchat, A, it would take over my entire life because I like to create ridiculously funny content. B, my life is ridiculously funny all the time. Like, I'm literally doing weird, outrageous stuff all the time. Jim, you've obviously met me, and you probably know this. I feel like my life would consume of Snapchat. But the cool thing about Snapchat is you get to see all these athletes' personal and really behind-the-scenes lifestyle. Like, that used to be Instagram, and then Instagram got very, sponsor-driven and almost kind of tailored to what we want the sponsors to see. And, Snapchat is no holds barred. You can do whatever. You want to show the funniest, crazy stuff that you do on a daily basis, what you're eating, to the weird friends you're hanging out with. And so that's why Snapchat's so cool. But I think it would just take over my life.
Well, I
definitely think so.
Yeah, one of my good friends, and I'll just throw his name out there because he listens every week. Guy's in Europe right now with Ken Block. But to my good friend Ken Butch, who works for Ken Block, one of my best friends, and I asked him. He was one of the guys like, Jimmy, you got to get a Snapchat. I got to send you stuff. You got to get a Snapchat. I'm like, Butch, why do I want to get a Snapchat, dude? I'm like, I got plenty of stuff. No, get a Snapchat. I'll send you some cool stuff. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, well, what do I post to Snapchat? And he's like, honestly, he's like, you post all your, he's like, you post all your rejected Instagram stuff. He's like, if you're going to take a picture and it's not good enough to post to your Instagram, he's like, you throw it up on Snapchat. I'm like, all right, I can understand that. It's, Snapchat is a, rejected Instagram posts, I guess. I don't know.
That's good. I feel like my Snapchat would become very Vine-worthy. They say, they call it a Vine. I would have a lot of funny videos on there. I'm more of the video person than the photo person. I feel like I can explain my personality a lot better over video than photo. So I'm going to get it. Just wait. Next week, when I get a Snapchat, you guys will be the first people to know. I will download it and upload it and whatever, upload pictures and videos the day that I come on the show. So if I get it, you guys will be the first to know. Maybe it'll be next week.
Better friend me, too. Don't be all coyote or something. You better send me a friend request.
No, well, they told me... They said if I get Snapchat, don't. Well, yeah, I guess you can. I don't even know how it works. Okay, let's not talk about Snapchat anymore.
Yeah, you know who we need to get on here to explain Snapchat? The guy kills it, Ronnie Foust. Ronnie is like king of Snapchat. We need to get him on the show, and he can give us like the 1, 2, 3 tutorial on Snapchat for dummies, right?
Well, funny thing about, pardon me. Whoa!
You're dying on me.
I'm getting so excited here to tell you the story. The funny thing about Snapchat and Ronnie Foust is when he was my partner for Terracross, he actually live Snapchatted my whole race as him in the passenger seat, and all you can hear is him like, yo, mama, like, woohoo, let's go, just yipping and yelling, and then we rolled over, and it was all on Snapchat, and all my friends were texting me, telling me a play-by-play of my race. And I'm like, how do you know this? Like, what's going on? Are you here? Are you at Heydays? But it's because Ron Foust was live Snapchatting the whole event. And it was awesome. Like, what a cool way to really get behind the scenes, like I said, behind the scenes live reality of athletes. And I got, I'm very big social media, as people know that. I got to get on it. But I'm so big Instagram and YouTube that those two already consume my life as much as it is already. So, I'm excited once I join Snapchat. It's a whole different game. You guys better step up and watch out.
Yeah, I need to work on mine a little bit harder. I've got all these people, some legit people, like celebrities following me, and I'm like, crap, like I'm gonna start losing these people because I post nothing. Like I just, I need to step it up a bit.
Truck photo. truck photo.
Yeah, right. So that's pretty much what I do. Truck photo, Razor photo, Subaru photo, whatever. I mean, but yeah, I'm lucky, I get to drive all these cool things. So yeah, definitely been blessed in that aspect as well. But yeah, I'm I don't know. I know Snapchat Live. I've been doing a lot of live Facebook streaming, and it's pretty legit. Like I've been getting like 7,000-8,000 people tune in to watch my live streams on Facebook. So it's pretty intense. But I don't even know how to turn on the Snapchat Live. So definitely gonna have to figure it out. Go to Ronnie Feist Snapchat 101.
That's right.
Yeah. So
we'll be doing lots of live Snapchatting from Terracross this year. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So we got to take who knows where the heck the conversation goes in the show. All of a sudden we do a 10-minute segment on Snapchat, right?
Snapchat for 10 minutes.
Yeah. My apologies to you listeners. You guys have been holding off for 2 weeks on a new show, and here we go talking Snapchat. But anyways, promise, better stuff to come. Yeah.
It's a huge part of motorsports now. Like, you can find some funny facts out about your favorite athletes via Snapchat. So most of you got to go to their favorite athletes' Instagram and have their Snapchat listed in there, or their Twitter handle and have Snapchat right in there. But you can really find out a lot about the whole personal life of athletes, their family, what they're eating, their dogs, their whole behind the scenes personal life. And I find that probably the coolest part about the athletes that we love. So.
Yeah. So speaking of athletes, Tanner Foust up next here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, when we come back.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris Razor XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? DirtFish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, DirtFish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, DirtFish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, DirtFish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit DirtFish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from DirtFish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at DirtFish Rally. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268-horsepower, turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305-horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here. I'd like to welcome my next guest to the line, my good friend Tanner Foust. How is everything going, Tanner?
It's going great. Thanks for having me on, Jim. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it's been right around a year, and I got to say, man, things have definitely been cranking up for you. We got a lot to talk about today, but I want to talk first off most recent event, Formula Drift in Atlanta, man, making it to the top 8. That's got to feel pretty good to kind of have your A game on, with Formula Drift kind of coming back to you.
Yeah, that was it's fun. It's really been a great experience getting back involved with drift after 5 years out of the sport. And a lot has changed. It's probably like coming back and seeing a kid 5 years later. You know, all changed very quickly. And there's the sport has, the judging has, the cars certainly have. It's one of the cooler motorsports out there. I mean, they're on the cutting edge of weird, twisted engineering, getting these cars 1,300 horsepower. The sanctioning body is really Formula D is actually really aggressive at getting the information out. They use social media incredibly well, probably better than most motorsports. And then the driving is just super fun. So I go out there with a big Passat and try to hang with all these tiny little 1,000 horsepower cars.
Yeah, these tiny little 1,000 horsepower cars. Just funny hearing it put that way. But we had Vaughn on air a couple of weeks back, and he was talking about it. He's like, honestly, he's like, it's trying to get people to comprehend what we're doing. He's like, we're building cars, and the thought is to destroy a set of tires in a minute. You know what I mean? He's like, we absolutely want them to be destroyed in a minute. So he's like, 1, you're looking at tire technology, and 2, you're looking at car technology. And he's like, it all merges together. And he's like, it's just amazing what the world of drifting has created.
I remember when it first got started, it was real kind of easy to innovate and kind of get a little bit of an edge on the other guy. And we won a couple championships that way. And every single year, people would come out with new ideas, whether it's aerodynamic or tire companies coming up with a better way to keep the tires together at almost 400 degrees, and or horsepower or type of differential to get the power down. And it just kept moving forward, and that just hasn't slowed down. And so now when you go and look through the paddock, I mean, there's a lot of engineers that have come from a lot of motorsports from around the world and put a lot of brain power to making these cars work. And they create so much grip, and they're so fast that they really need 1,000 horsepower to keep these tires spinning at 140, 150 mile an hour wheel speed as they're going through these courses. And for sure, if you get a full minute of drifting out of a set of tires, you're lucky. I mean, it's a huge amount of heat.
Well, and that's what's amazing. You speak about engineers, and really, I mean, this is a sport, obviously it's got its roots in Japan, but here in the States, I mean, guys literally, when this thing started, I mean, it was backyard garage builds. These guys were going out and sliding, and now, just a little over 10 years later, we have a full-blown, like you said, a paddock with engineers and, I mean, cutting-edge technology. And it's pretty crazy to see a sport evolve from guys' garages all the way to the point where we've got engineers and full staff at events in a little over 10 years.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And, it was very Japanese domestic market kind of style. When it came over, basically people were getting SR20 motors for Nissans and souping them up. That was it. That was like the car of choice, was the S14 Nissan. What we had was the 240 SX, but we quickly Americanized it in our own way and started getting V8s involved, getting Mustangs involved, getting other muscle cars out there. And then those V8s started making their way into the Nissans, and then all of a sudden some manufacturers got involved, and then it exploded. You had Saturns and with 600 horsepower motors. You had just the weirdest stuff coming out. We built the Scion TC with a NASCAR engine, and now with Volkswagen, when we were faced with what car to build, we the Passat had a new model run coming out, so the marketing department determined part of that. But we just wanted to get Volkswagen involved in the sport because it is kind of this cutting-edge, cool, edgy thing that's just a lot of manufacturers, it's not on their radar. So we took the Passat, which was going to be new for 2016. It was also, when you have a building of front-wheel drive or a four-wheel drive car into rear-wheel drive, with the current Formula D rules, you can't move the firewall back. So it's really hard to get the balance of the car when the engine is so far forward. So kind of the bigger the car, the easier it was to find some sort of balance. So that's how we came across the Passat here. Yeah, I mean, it lines up, and you might think a 900 horsepower Passat would be a Frankenstein car build, but compared to this paddock, it fits right in with all the crazy stuff that's out there on the line.
Well, and that being said, I know, obviously the past few years you've worked with Volkswagen and, being a sign driver for them. I mean, what's the feedback been from Volkswagen corporate now? I mean, obviously they're involved in GRC, But how has the how has the feedback been with you guys with Formula Drift? I mean, you always wonder. I like to know what manufacturers are thinking. Are they really happy with the return they're getting?
Well, and Volkswagen wasn't super involved in this build. We kind of did it where energy was really the motivating force of this. They wanted to get involved with OSBO last year and get me out to a couple events. But so we kind of did it with Volkswagen's kind of confused blessing. They weren't exactly sure what they were getting into. And so then we, created this beast, and I was in a marketing meeting with the head of worldwide marketing for Volkswagen at the end of last year, and they were looking at the numbers, and Formula Drift has really a big international scope, and they're looking at how many followers and how much response they got in Brazil, which is a market that's important for them, in China, and Europe, and of course in the U.S., and they were blown away by what really the very young influence that Formula D has, and the exposure that they got in that market for the Passat.
So, kind of switching gears, obviously more of your Volkswagen involvement, but got to ramp things up. We got to talk about the big GRC kickoff in Phoenix. It seems like it's definitely been a long off season. You got to be pretty amped to get back in the car. And I know last year you're taking 3 wins. I mean, it seems like things are finally. I don't want to say finally because it seems like the Volkswagen program has clicked from day one. But it seems like things are definitely trending upwards for you guys in that program.
Yeah, it's an awesome team to be with. I mean, there's, last year was like a best guess for a bunch of very, very smart engineers. A lot of racing savvy guys here in Andretti, and then a lot of engineering and racing savvy guys over at Volkswagen Motorsport Germany. Guess at it, and we ended up winning the championship and getting third in the championship with the 2 cars. And so the first half of the season, there were some growing pains, and then I think we really showed the speed of the Beetle in the second half and had a lot of momentum ending the season out. So it really gives us, it kind of propels us into 2016 with some new engineering changes and a really motivated team. They're holding the championship banner and going into 16 in the first event in Phoenix. Ultimately, you're sort of measuring yourself up with how everybody else has developed their car in the off season. Our team is strong. We've got a lot of brain power, and so we're pretty optimistic.
How was it for you? Obviously, you guys started off. You guys had the Polo, which came over from Europe. I mean, how was it you developing this new car that was ground up built? You know what I mean, to go racing in GRC. I mean, how was that process with you? And obviously, I know the car is winning races now, but how was the development process of that car?
Developing the Beetle was a really interesting process for me, and I've been doing rallycross in Europe since 2009, and then since the beginning, since kind of got things going here in the U.S. with global rallycross. And so I've driven a lot of different kinds of cars. The Polo was a little bit outdated when we got it, but we needed to be running that while finishing the build on the Beetle. My championship hadn't gone so well, so I drove the Beetle for the first time in L.A. in 2014, and it was really good out of the box. It was just hadn't been battle proven, and there were some little weak links and chinks in the armor that needed to be worked out. And so really from a dynamic and engineering standpoint, it was really good. We had good engine platform with a 1.6 liter. Then in 2015, we moved to a 2 liter that was even better. And then just sort of, you just sort of have to battle test these things and see what breaks. I mean, we had some weird bolt supply for flywheels last year that ended up costing us about several engines, and that translates into a lot of points. And so there's little things, little 50-cent parts that can cost you a lot of points. You have to figure out where the weakness is in the car along the way. And we did a lot of that last year. And still, I think the team is really strong, really able to come out with good points at the end of the day when the dust settled anyway. But the development has been awesome. And frankly, for me, Jim, so I came from drifting and rally and very low kind of club level road racing. I didn't come up through NASCAR and Formula One and stuff like my teammates. And so to work with 25 engineers that are all at the very top of their game from Volkswagen and Andretti, it was a real honor, to be kind of involved in such a professional effort. And it put a lot of pressure on us, on the drivers, when they're good at their job and they're doing it right. So you have to be good at your job and you have to do it right. And I really enjoyed that challenge.
Well, and it's funny you say that because I think a lot of people lose sight, and that's one thing I've always respected about you. I mean, it's one of those things you did. I mean, you did your time in in Rally America and drifting, and you've kind of come up and evolved as a driver. driver at, and I call it Action Motorsports collectively, but, you've evolved as a driver as it seems like these new, motorsports that are aimed at the younger demographic have kind of taken off and skyrocketed as well. And you've kind of been there along for, the entire ride.
It was a little bit of a business to me because I came from, not from a family of racers or anything, and I really just had to volunteer on a race team in order to get exposure to the cars in general. Could really make it work was of it. And so I really got involved in drifting early on and really tried to promote it, and then got involved with rallycross early on, in the U.S. side anyway. And, tried to build a business around that sport. That's kind of been the only way that I've been able to make it work. And then alongside that, really developing as a driver has been, the critical part. It's amazing when you get into a team like this, where there's so many professionals that have always made their living in racing, how much that amps up the learning curve. And you really start, just in 2014 and 2015, and also, working with Scott, who's always been a racer, I think, since birth. You really just have to look at video and look at yourself and really focus back on the craft, on the racecraft. Decide, okay, is this action sports guy, or am I going to be a race guy, and am I going to be able to compete with this? And thankfully, especially towards the end of the season, things clicked, and through a lot of training and focus, I was able to make sure that I could win some qualifying and was at speed and competitive. And but it's tricky when you kind of get to a point where maybe you're not exactly sure if you're going to be able to hang with all these F1 guys that come in. But it's a good feeling when you do hang with them and you occasionally beat them.
Little smile that goes off underneath the helmet, right? You definitely, hey, I did it, right?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's been a great experience, and Scott's a great teammate in that he and I see the track from totally different perspectives. I see the dirt side, he sees the pavement. He scratches his head sometimes at how I get times in the dirt. I scratch my head sometimes how he gets times in the pavement. But after the first practice session, we compared data, and then we're both right on it. And that's how a team should work. Of course, when you're head-to-head in a heat, all that goes out the window. But, when you're trying to get best results for both cars, you got to work together.
Yeah. All right, we got to take a short commercial break. We come back. We got more Tanner Foust here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it. So when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our RZR vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of RZR vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a RZR 170 like me, take the entire family out in a RZR XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new RZR XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris RZR. Check out the full Polaris RZR lineup at Polaris.com, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for. No fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island. The best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. All right, welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here. We got Tanner Foust on the line, and as we went to break, Tanner, I know we were talking a little Red Bull Global Rallycross and Team Andretti, and heading into 2016, obviously, the Andretti team, you guys are driving at such are competing at such a high level, but coming in this year, I mean, we've heard we've got Honda coming in now. Obviously, the Fords are back. I know Subaru's coming with a new gun to the fight, so to speak. A lot of new drivers I've heard rumors of that are yet to be announced. It's definitely, this series is one that's ramping up pretty fast.
Yeah, I think ever since got going, it's been on a quick and rapid growth, and I think Colin Dine has done a good job of getting good television and going on NBC, and especially the live events. It's been just an awesome place to race. The races are getting better. The tracks are getting better. They're still temporary tracks, which must be an incredibly difficult thing for an organizer to do. But it's awesome. But the fundamental thing, when you back away from and look at it, is the cars are just the most damn fun things to drive on the planet. The 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. They jump, they slide, they crash, they launch like drag cars off the line. They're great in the dirt. They're fast around racetrack pavement. They pulled up two Gs through those corners, and they're just the most talented little hyperactive things ever. And our little Rockstar Beetles are just so amazing. It's really a fun thing to be involved in.
Well, and you talk about the fun factor. I know me as a driver, I've driven trophy trucks, stage rally cars, spent a ton of time in all kinds of off-road vehicles and a lot of road racing stuff. But I got
I've seen you flip a Polaris.
Yeah, you did, and it was funny. You saw me flip a Polaris in San Diego, and later on that day I call you, and I'm like, Tanner, somebody else hurt their back, and they need a fill-in driver for one of the cars, and you're like, yeah, I think I'll pass on this one, buddy. I don't blame you.
That was a spectacular form, actually, Jim. That was nice. Yeah. End over end.
Yeah. You know what, though? It's funny because my sponsors were stoked. I made the highlight reel for the TV package, and they got more ROI off of that flip than I think they did for any of the winners that year.
How's your neck?
I was good. I'm one of those, though, like I come in and I show up and I've got, Hans, and, I've got a carbon fiber helmet, and you know what I mean? And I'm an auto racer, I go and do anything, and, I don't go out. And a lot of these guys that are motocross guys are wearing their MX helmet, and they don't know what the hell a Hans device is and everything else. I'm like, no, you guys need to get one of these because it'll allow you to flip like that and walk away, and it's...
those are lessons learned the hard way, unfortunately. Yeah. But, you don't, safety equipment is definitely a good place to spend the money.
Yeah, for sure. But, going back to what we were saying, I've driven a lot of vehicles, but I had the opportunity to spend some time in a lights car a couple of years ago with Olsberg, and I tell you what, that was the most fun. I can only imagine driving a supercar, how much fun those are.
Yeah, the lights cars are a great little package. They're little go-karts. They're, rear engine, good weight balance, great suspension, and being normally aspirated, it's really easy to keep the horsepower very equal on them to make sure there's good racing. And then the teams, I'm not exactly sure what they can change on those. They can adjust the suspension and tire pressures and things like that, but the engines stay sealed. But then you add, double the horsepower to that, and you have a supercar and a little bit more sophisticated suspension, a little bit maybe better balance. And they're monsters. It's the most hyperactive, twitchy, gnarly thing I've ever been in. And I've been, like you, I've been lucky to drive a lot of different stuff, whether it's, for racing or for TV. And there's, once you turn the anti-lag system on, you have instant power every time you graze the throttle pedal. And the steering is so quick, it's a half turn to full lock each way. And they're just absolutely hyperactive. Everything is sensitive on it. It's a short wheelbase. You just breathe on the steering wheel and you're changing directions. You just touch the throttle and you have 600 horsepower all the way to all-wheel drive. And so you spend the whole time just kind of smooth the edges off the car, like trying to calm it down. Because if you let it run free, it would just take you off the track.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of calming it down, trying to squeeze some momentum out of the chaos, which is a fun experience.
Yeah. Well, and compare, because you talked about you getting your first taste of rallycross racing in Europe. Now, you've been here in the States, and and you've run rallycross here in the States for almost since the beginning. Going back though, I know you're one that you try at least once a year to get over to Europe and run a rallycross event over there. I mean, take us through some of the differences, because you hear people go, "Oh, well, that's American rallycross, that's European rallycross." I mean, you as a driver, what's the biggest difference?
Well, American rallycross has changed. I've been lucky to do every single global rallycross event that has happened in the U.S., including back when Rally America used to run the events. It has evolved ever since those New Jersey motorsports races that some people might remember 5-6 years ago. But the European rallycross also has evolved. So even though it's been going on for 50 years in Europe, it's changing a lot. It used to be always on permanent tracks, and that was the biggest difference, is that the tracks were 40, 50 years old. So they had lots of rolling crests and elevation changes, and every track had a really different character to it. The World Rallycross Championship is really kind of moving towards building temporary tracks and piggybacking on to DTM races and other big racing events in order to bring the sport to the people, which is something that Global here in the U.S. has been so good at. So that's the biggest difference, is that there still are some permanent tracks in Europe that are used, and in the U.S. we don't have permanent tracks. They're all temporary tracks. They're built on the docks of Long Beach, or right next to the ocean in Fort Lauderdale, or in the racetrack of Daytona. And they're very cool, innovative locations in global rallycross here in the U.S., but they tend to be more flat and not quite as much terrain. And then we also, not to get too techy, but we also run different tires than they run in Europe. And that makes the cars handle a lot differently. The European cars tend to slide a bit more than they do here in the U.S.
Yeah, I mean, so European versus U.S., I know we talked about, you've done a little bit of European rallycross in the past. We're going to see you run any of those events this year. Are there any slated into the calendar? I know obviously you're dedicated to Red Bull GRC, but any chance we see you over in Europe? Yeah,
I've never done the complete championship in Europe. One year I did all the events but one, and I finished second in the championship. And actually that year Sverre Isaacson won. But since then, I've only been able to schedule do about 3 or 4 events. So this year I'm going to do 3 again, just like last year. But the main focus is global rallycross, doing the full championship there, all 12 events, 8 weekends, and really for Volkswagen and for Andretti to try to fight for the championship here, and for Rockstar.
Obviously, I got to bring this up because you mentioned it earlier, and obviously I work with Polaris Razor brand. Obviously, they're involved in the show, and I do a lot with them. But I know you took delivery of a nice new Razor Turbo. How much fun are you having in that, buddy?
That is the most addicting thing ever. It's I've got a little turbo 2-seater, 1,000 cc that Holtz Racing up in Seattle built up. They left the engine stock, but they built up the suspension with a lot of racing kit and got built up the roll cage a bit and put in a lot of extras. And Polaris sent me a bunch of extras to put on there. And I go out there with my buddy Reese Millen and Stefan Verdier, who both used to run in global rallycross. There's so many cool desert spots around here in California, and we shred, and it is so fun. Yeah, it'll actually be using the Razor on Top Gear on Tuesday. I think it's this Tuesday. There's going to be it'll be airing. I'm racing against a tank, an M1A tank at Fort Irwin, and the tank is trying to shoot 10 targets before Rutledge and I in the Razor can jump through 10 targets. Obviously being on a shooting range with a tank shooting in your general direction is not a good feeling. But the Razor was amazing. So it's not just a TV star. It is an absolute blast to drive.
But I we've had this conversation with multiple people, and I know it seems like more and more hardcore race car drivers are getting Razors just to go out and have some fun in. But bang for the buck. I mean, for a little over $20,000, I don't know how much more fun you can have in a performance vehicle. I mean, it's pretty amazing the capabilities of those right out of the box to go out in the desert and have fun.
It's a little staggering the amount of ground that you cover. I don't know, maybe $1 million trophy truck is probably one of the only things, and maybe a Class 1 buggy, that can cover ground across the desert floor faster than a Razor. And that's really bizarre to think about, that those things are so capable. But then you can go into places and go on and have more fun on more narrow roads than you can in a trophy truck. It's kind of ridiculous. I've only been out probably 5-6 times. Every single time I'm sort of blown away at where we get to and how fast we get there. And it's awesome. It's awesome just to go out with a trailer and take a little bit of a lunch break. And Stefan Papadakis, the guy who built my drift car, he actually rented one. We went out with Stefan Verdier there, and just shred around for the day and, having a good time. You get some radios installed in there, and you can cover ground with a little pack of them so fast. It's just a blast.
Yeah. Well, and along with Polaris RZR, I gotta bring it up before we let you go. But our friends at Polaris Slingshot, you were able to film Slingshot X. How was that taking over the streets of San Diego?
That thing was ridiculous. The Slingshot is a wicked fast little machine. It's a little bit interesting to drift because it just has one, tire in the back, of course, and we smoked the crap out of that tire. But I feel bad because that particular one was turbocharged and very, very loud. And we kept some people awake in San Diego, I understand, but it was an incredibly cool shoot. We got to catch some air, we got to slide up parking garage things, and I mean, we did everything. The guys at Mad Media came up with a host of challenges for that car, and it took all of them on. I actually have one of those on the way, and it's a pretty rad little machine, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing. I got to ask, how many rear tires did you guys go through in that shoot? I haven't had a chance to ask the Martellis that yet.
I have no idea. I mean, it was shot at night, so it was cold, so they got to cool down. But I don't know how many tires we went through. It's interesting, though, because the stack of spare tires is half as high as it normally is, obviously, since there's just one of them. Yeah. So it never seems like that many until you just have to keep changing them. But now I want to say we only really probably went through 3 tires, maybe 4 tires on that, which is the most. I mean, it cut the carbon footprint in half, right?
Yeah.
So practically saving the planet. Yeah. Just kidding. That's awful.
Drive a Slingshot. You're being environmentally conscious, I guess, right? So
yeah.
Yeah. So well, one last question on that, because I've wondered, and I've spent some time in one, but not really performance driving in one yet. Was there any adjustments with with it being I guess a reverse trike design? You as a driver, was it pretty seamless?
It's incredibly nimble feeling. All the stability is up on the front end, and the rear creates a lot of grip. But when you're it acts like a very, very short wheelbase just because of the way that it slides. It's probably like drifting a motorcycle where it's, probably pretty twitchy. So it was a difficult thing to drift. Luckily, we have enough power just to kind of keep that back tire floating. Even the stock ones I've driven, though, you can drift them. But the first thing you notice when you drive it is that it is very nimble feeling, and the front end just is begging to change direction. And I think that's the fun factor that people get out of it, honestly, is that it just feels like it's really willing. Like on a curvy road, it would be epic. And the tighter the turns, the better, really, with the Slingshot.
All right, Tanner. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, buddy. Good luck kicking things off in Phoenix, and hopefully more wins come your direction, and be stoked to see you back with a crown at the end of the year again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Beaver. Make sure you keep that Hans device close by.
Yeah, we're going to get you out. We're going to get you out for some fun in a RZR at some point. You ever get out to Arizona, we'll get you guys out here and get you dialed in. We got some heck of good trails out here.
The Terracross looks like an absolute blast.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great sport. It looks like it's getting dialed in really well. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun, and I'm back. So hopefully we can keep it on 4 wheels in that series this year, and we don't have to replace the RZR after the first round.
That's funny. Well, thank you very much, Jim. Really appreciate the time.
All right, thanks, Tanner. Always fun catching up with my buddy Tanner Foust. And right now we're going to take a short commercial break. We'll come back. We got some DirtFish Rally Report coming at you here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
I'm Polaris rider Lee Valley, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The hotel is waiting. And your getaway is as close as Blue Water Resort and Casino's spring room special, starting at just $54.95. You'll be steps away from hot slot machines, table games, bingo, restaurants, lounges, the Blue Water Marina, golf, and more. Lee Greenwood hits the stage in the amphitheater Saturday, February 27th. Book your room today at BlueWaterFun.com or call 888-243-3360. Rooms starting at just $54.95. Now at Blue Water Resort and Casino in Parker, Arizona. Available Sunday through Thursday, February 1st through April 30th. Based on availability, tax and resort fees are not included. Cannot be combined with any other offers. Excludes holidays, weekends, and special events.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver here, and I had all kinds of things planned for the next segment or two, and ramping things up from Joe Duncan. From Terracross is going to be calling in here in a bit, but I just got some news literally via Instagram that one of the Down and Dirty Radio Show past guests, a guy that you guys know, we've talked about him a ton on the show, Destry Abbott. Sounds like Destry, he just posted to Instagram that the rumors are out there and just want to let everybody know an update. Wasn't feeling good lately and hurting bad on Sunday. Went to the hospital and have been here ever since. It turns out I have leukemia and will be starting treatment ASAP. I'll probably be in the hospital for at least a couple of more weeks. So, Destry Abbott, the guy is, he's got his training facility. I mean, one of the most physically fit guys you've ever seen. Kills it on a motocross bike, in racing endurocross, and to see him down and out like that is definitely a sad thing. So Destry, if you're listening in, I know a lot of the guys that go to DA8 there in Phoenix, they tune in from time to time. We've had a lot of their athletes. Taylor Roberts, another one, but man, we're definitely thinking about you, keeping you in our prayers, Destry, and we'll definitely keep you listeners updated. It literally just broke on Instagram, and heart goes out to the Abbott family. Man, they've given a lot to the two-wheel community, and it's definitely a tough thing to see. Definitely a really, really tough thing to see. So, Destry, we're thinking about you, my friend, and we'll be back after this commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning Razor XP1000. RJ is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris Razors to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris Razors RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder R.J. Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris Razor vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor, and we are jumping right into a DirtFish Rally Report, brought to you by our good friends at DirtFish Rally School. Find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com, and things are cranking up there at DirtFish right now. Good friends at DirtFish Rally School offering some specials right now. Father's Day is up, and skip over to their social media feeds. You can get all the details on those discounts they've got going. And race season kickoffs, Father's Day specials, they've got it all happening up there at DirtFish. So you're looking for a special gift for somebody, definitely keep them in mind, and they will definitely set you up and put a smile on your significant other or dad or uncle, grandpa, whoever's face. But DirtFish also dropping their livery that Connor Martell is going to be racing there in Phoenix this weekend. Definitely a different livery, man. It's definitely going to look good on TV. GRC Phoenix kicking off this weekend. That's pretty much the big event of the weekend, that and pro motocross. But GRC Phoenix kicking off this weekend. I think I'm going to make it down there Friday, and check things out. I don't know about the rest of the weekend. But we had FIA World Rallycross Championship going off in Belgium. Matthias Ekstrom taking the victory. Sebastian Loeb's finishing in second. Petter Solberg in third. Those were your podium finishers. So Ekstrom now has a lead over Solberg of 5 points, with Johan Kristoffersen in third in the points championship, and Sebastian Loeb sitting there in fourth. And then the big event this past weekend, Rally America up there at Olympus Rally, and David Higgins, Craig Drew once again taking the victory. Solid effort by those guys. Always fast. Great to see Lachlan O'Sullivan back in his car, taking a second overall and taking the victory in Super Production. Also in Super Production, it was Jeff Seorn, Karen Jankowski finishing up in third overall and second in SP. And then big news of the weekend, Ryan Millen, back-to-back victories for him in the two-wheel drive Toyota. The Toyota's got an automatic transmission. It's an SUV, and Ryan Millen just dominating the two-wheel drive field. You want to think, Ryan Millen can't drive? This boy can flat wheel a rally car. So congrats goes out to him. And then we had the B-Spec winner. B-Spec winner was Jordan Guitar. So, it's a great event up there. Next up, we got STPR Rally coming up in a few weeks there in Pennsylvania. So definitely looking forward to that. And it's always one of my favorite rallies of the year. But that's your DirtFish Rally Report for this week, brought to you by our good friends at DirtFish Rally School. Find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com. We're going to take a short commercial break. Joe Duncan and a special guest on the line after this.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris Razor XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? DirtFish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at DirtFish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here, and joined on the line by my good friend Joe Duncan, and also got a special guest on the line with him. That's what I love about this, is like roulette. Who's gonna show up with Joe Duncan today? It is Jamie Ward-Luberg. Did I get that right, Jamie?
Yes, that is right. How are you, Jim?
I am doing well, but nice to have you on along with Joe. And I know a lot of our listeners maybe not super familiar with you, but you are a former Terracross women's champion. I know. I think I raced against you in Charlotte last year in the muddy mess that was that event. But great to have you on air.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yep, I got the opportunity to come out with Joe and run the Terracross series for the first time in 2014. I've always raced in the women's ATV class at the Nationals, so 2014 was my first year to be able to jump in a Razor, and I finished the year out with a championship. So I'm excited to be back this year.
Yeah, as Joe can attest, I mean, I think it's really cool to have you back. You know what I mean? One of the women's champions back, and in the women's field, like Joe and I have talked in recent weeks. This year, I mean, you being back, and you've got Sarah Price and Jolene Van Vliet, and and Shelby Anderson and Danielle Weatherly and Amy Hood. I mean, it's a stacked women's field. That's got to be exciting for you going in and having all this competition.
Oh, it's going to be so exciting. I mean, like Joe was saying, we got supposedly a full gate this year, which is unbelievable for the Terracross series this year. And for everybody who's watched it knows the women class, we put on a pretty good show out there. We bump and get dirty, and we do some really good racing out there, some serious talent. So I'm excited about this year. We got a lot of talent going on this year.
Yeah, well, and what I think is cool, and I'm sure I haven't looked at the times. Joe can probably let us know, but I just glanced last year. But I think a lot of the lap times that the women's division was pulling was right on par with the men's division. You know, a lot of people think, the women are slower. Last year it wasn't the case. A lot of times the women were faster than the men.
That's right.
Well, what's that, Joe?
They do. They have.
You there, Joe?
I'm right here. Yeah, the times from scoring and timing with the women's class was right in there with the men's class. It was unbelievable. And again, we only had 4 regular series racers last year that, kind of tried to make it to everything. And this year it looks like, we're going to have a full field. We have, 7 spots of the 10 spots already full. We have another 6 or 7 that are they're out there looking for their sponsors for the season. So, I mean, we'll fill this field up for this season. Unfortunately we can only take 10. So it's first come, first serve, but we have 7 committed, and it's looking exciting who these last 3 that are going to fill up that field will be.
Yeah, well, and Jamie, I mean, obviously, your brother, he's 2-time Terracross champion, and I've got the opportunity to know him. I got to tell you, he's half nuts. Some of the stuff he does in a razor, it just blows my mind. Like, I wouldn't even attempt. I mean, I see him, and it's just like, let's not just clear the jump. Let's land 30 feet past the landing. It's just nutty stuff he does, and I got to think at some point some of that wears off onto you, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's all we've ever done. We both started riding at 3 and both started racing at 9, and that's what we've always done. That's our lifestyle. So we definitely push each other, and he's a very talented racer, and I'm excited to be back this year because I had to take last year off because I had my son. So it's fun to have them 2 on board with us. Now I got 2 little boys, so they're going to be at the races, and hopefully one day they'll be walking on our shoes.
Yeah, well, and I think it's cool. I mean, with you guys, it really is, just a family effort. And Joe sent me over some pictures before we went on air, and and you've got your kids in like Power Wheel razors already, and things like that. They're already getting bit by the bug, right?
That's right. I'm hosting. Well, I'm not hosting, but I'm involved in a community YMCA race program coming up here in about a month, and Joe's helping out, and Polaris is helping out. They're sending a bunch of stuff to pass out to the kids. We got 120 kids already confirmed to come to a race day camp to show them what, the Polaris is all about, what we do, what Terracross is, what the GNCC racing is. And I mean, it's really cool just to get, the younger generation and the kids aware of our sport and what we do. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's.
Hey Jim, she's keeping Joe Duncan in business is what she's doing.
grooming the future Terracross races. I get it. You're a smart man, Joe. I understand you, man.
I learned it all from you, Jimmy. I learned it all from you.
Yeah, people knew the conversations we had off air, Joe. I don't know. I feel like, man, these 2 guys are loopy, right? They're out in outer space sometimes, man. But no, I think that's awesome, Jamie. I mean, looking forward to to seeing you back in a razor, and I don't know what I know you East Coast. You do a little bit GNCC racing, correct? Or I mean, when was the last time you've been in a razor actually racing? I know we saw you at Charlotte, but was last year completely taken off other than Charlotte?
Yeah, I took last year off because I was pregnant with my son, and I raced. I was 3 weeks out of having him, and I raced with you in Charlotte at the Terracross. And then I've done a couple local races, and then I've been running as my brother's co-pilot for the GNCC races for Bikeman Performance.
Okay.
This in 2 weeks, the GNCC in Athens, I will be running my own car for Bikeman Performance at the GNCC races. And then for the Terracross series, I'll be running for Commonwealth Motorsports in Hayes, Virginia. They'll be my main sponsor for the Terracross series this year.
Nice. Well, it's cool to see you back, not only in one series, but 2. I mean, that's a lot of racing. So definitely good luck to you.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, Joe, what else is happening in the world of Terracross, my friend? I know you got some big announcements brewing. I don't know if they're ready to drop quite yet, but some of the stuff I've heard rumors of, pretty big stuff in the coming weeks will be announcing.
Yeah, we've got some great stuff, and we got a lot of stuff. With the attorneys getting contracts done up, and always takes longer than you hope for. But obviously, our television package to be released soon. With some great updates and some great new things with our CBS Sports television package. And then race events are coming together. We're going to be kicking off our series at Heydays here in September, and the full series will be announced soon. We're waiting on some confirmations to come back on that, but some big new partners coming on board that I'm super excited about to release. We got multiple companies coming on board with one company to really branch out of what we've had from Terracross. 90% of our partners from last year are all coming back, and I just got off the phone. One of your partners, Casey Highlights, just got off the phone with Jason, and not only is he coming back, but he just brought us another racer that they raced with in the Best in the Desert series, and I think they're going to come on board, and a couple of other partners that he's been talking to. Looks like they're coming to play. Yeah, it's just exciting. It's that exciting time of season. Things are a little bit later for us with Terracross because we are starting in September instead of end of June. So, it's not as busy right now as what it would normally be, but I can already see things heating up with the calls we've had in the last couple of weeks and what we've been working on for the last couple of months. It's all falling into place, and never a dull moment over here at Terracross right now. That's for sure.
Silly season in full effect right now, huh?
Yep, exactly. We've got we actually get to go to the Indy 500. We've been invited down there. We're going down for some sponsor meetings at the Indy 500 and get to watch the race down there. And hopefully after, maybe even before that race, we have some partners that are involved with that event that are going to come involved in Terracross, and it's going to be exciting to have some crossover stuff there.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you and Jamie taking the time to call in. We got to take a short commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. But thanks a lot, guys, and we'll be back after this break. Thank you.
Thanks, Jimmy. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When R.J. Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning RZR XP1000. R.J. is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris RZRs to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris RZRs RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? DirtFish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, DirtFish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, DirtFish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, DirtFish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit DirtFish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from DirtFish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at DirtFish Rally. MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Hood here. We got Amy Hood back on the line. Just got done talking a little Terracross with our good friend Joe Duncan. But time to switch gears a little bit, talk about some of the events the past couple of weeks. And, we missed last week, so we missed having some event winners and stuff like that on air. Had, some Formula Drift happening. We had the Laughlin Desert Challenge. I definitely want to talk about Laughlin Desert Challenge real quick. Awesome event there. I know Amy's never even been to it, but you've had a lot of people, me included, tell you about it. I know Ray Griffith's like, oh, Laughlin, it's awesome. That's when you got to come out to. Same place we hold the UTV World Championship. So at some point, I know we got to get you out to Laughlin, Amy.
Yeah, definitely. We were talking about me hopefully coming out this year, but like I said, schedule's been crazy. It's been tough trying to keep up with daily life. Never mind trying to make events. So
yeah,
we'll come out to one of them.
Yeah, got to give a shout out to Josh Daniell taking the overall victory in Trick Truck. Almost called it Trophy Truck there, but Trick Truck taking the overall victory there, and I believe that's his second one in that Rockstar Energy truck. But congrats goes out to him in the twin turbocharged TT, and then my Polaris Razor teammate and guy that's just I got a ton of feedback, but Mark Burnett taking the overall UTV victory there in his Polaris Razor Turbo, and I know Amy knows Mark quite well from the MIP 400. We've had him on air a few times, but I posted a video not too long ago of Mark basically flipping backflip gone wrong in a UTV, and you want to talk about a post that got a ton of comments, and I don't know, I was looking at, I think my Facebook one, I mean, it got like a couple hundred shares or something. It was nutty. People just, continuing to share it, but yeah, it was Mark. He's obviously races razors. He's involved with the Freestyle MX Tour, but he had this razor, and I don't know if you saw the picture, Amy, but he's got dialed in on backflips. Him and Jimmy Blaze, just dialed in on backflips and razors, but this one went wrong, and he started a barrel roll in the middle of it, so it was like a backflip 360, and it just mangled the razor. It looks insane. He's like 50 feet off the ground, and it just threw him wrong, and it was just annihilation when he landed. But he walked away from it, and life is good now. But, yeah, big congrats goes out to Mark for taking home that victory in his Polaris Razor Turbo. And that being said, I know Laughlin is one of my favorite events. That and like the Blue Water Desert Challenge, we run. You run over 2 days, so it's like you run. Your times are combined over 2 days, right, Amy? So we run on Saturday for like an hour and a half. Run on Sunday for an hour and a half, and then they combine the times, and it goes towards the overall victory. So you can win on Saturday, lose on Sunday, and not win the overall event, or vice versa. And if you don't finish one day, you really don't have a shot at a victory. But I guess it would be the closest thing that desert racing has to like motocross, where you've got two motos, and then the overall winner is a combined. What is it? Combined from the two motos, the points, and then if there's a tie, it goes to the guy that won the second moto, right? No. Correct me. How does scoring work in professional motocross?
So professional motocross, it's the best of two. So yes, it's weighted on the second moto, but it's best of two. And if you got a second and a first, if you got a first and a second, and the other rider got a second and the first, it would go to the overall win would go to the rider who got first in the last moto. Yeah. But they would be tied for points. You hear me? So the points would be the same, but the podium would go to the second place, weighted on the second place finish.
Okay. So I was kind of right. I was close, but yeah. Yeah. So No, that being said, motocross.
I mean, the biggest difference is arena cross. I can't even understand how they do their scheduling. They have a taste of the championship, and they do one-on-ones. Like, arena cross is crazy. The way they do their racing is totally different, like anything I've ever heard.
Yeah. Have you ever ridden an arena cross track? I mean, some of them are they pack some pretty big jumps into a tight space. I mean, you come out of a corner and it's like, bam, you got to be on the pipe or you're not going to make it.
Oh, the arena cross is probably the funnest thing to watch in your life because it is bar to bar, banging, crashing, running into each other, using riders as berms. It is the most action you can pack in a small little arena I've ever seen. Honestly, it is so fun to watch. It's very cutthroat, and they chase to the championship. It's very, very eventful to watch. But I have a funny story about arena cross. The very first time I got a big bike, so I raced 50s, 65s, 80s, and then my first year I got my brand new CR250F. We got it out of the crate. And this is like usually come springtime, middle of winter kind of thing. So I got my fresh 250F in a crate, put it together, loaded it up in the van, and me and my dad drove down to Oklahoma. So this was back in the day, maybe 06, 07, when Cooperland was still around. And so we were going to go down, spend a couple of weeks at Cooperland and ride and train and get used to my big bike. Again, I'm probably right now 5'3". So maybe back then I was like 5'0". And we were, again, going to practice on a big bike. I'd never ridden one before in my life. And I was a teeny mini person. So my dad thought it'd be an awesome idea to show up at the Tulsa Buku Arena Cross and unloaded this bike, sent me out there, never riding a big bike, riding Arena Cross. I mean, it's really hard. The corners are tight. The jumps are huge. What a better way to learn how to ride a big bike than going out there on a lineup of C-class boys in 250 class, for your very first time. It was awesome. It was the most terrifying experience in my life. But I really learned how to turn a darn corner, that's for sure. It was awesome, and I will remember that story till the day I die because, it's what a story to tell. Your very first time on a big bike, you went to a huge arena cross. It's a big event. The Buku Arena Cross is back before they had the Amsoil Arena Cross series. It was Buku Arena Cross, and they're all over, same thing, and they had this huge finish line jump. I remember the Buku finish line, it was this huge double. It was one wall, and you land on another wall, basically, like a huge, almost 85, 90-foot double. And it was tall. It was death-defying when you're like a 13-year-old girl. And, it was pretty cool. But I've done a lot of arena cross racing. I grew up when I was on 80s racing arena cross. Great way to learn technique, learn how to start, and learn how to choose lines. Because arena cross is all about line selection, hugging those insides and being an aggressive rider. To win in the arena cross, you really have to be aggressive, be a great starter, and be a great cornerer. So that's kind of what I learned how to grow up riding. So it was cool.
Yeah, speaking of arenas, and this goes back to before endurocross really took off, and I'm sure they still do it in Europe because the Europeans have some gnarly tracks. But I remember seeing some old videos of like endurocross here in the States when it first kind of got going, and they were running in some arenas, and it was before anybody gave two rips about actually going and watching an endurocross race. Like they were going in these arenas, and they were literally like riding their bikes up and down the stairs, and they were putting like these
no way.
No, and they were putting like these fake trees in the concrete hallways of the arena, and the guys would have to like these walls of trees, and they'd have to zigzag through the trees and stuff like that. Like it was gnarly, and I'm like, man, I wish like now endurocross, like I understand it's got big, it's blown up, so you can't really do that because you've actually got people in the arenas watching. But this was like before it got popular, so they were using like the entire arena for endurocross, and it was pretty cool. I mean, there were some gnarly tracks, and I'll have to see if I can pull up the YouTube videos and send them to you because they were rad. It's like I'd like to ride a course like that. So not that I do any good.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. I really want to see a video for that. You should totally put something up on the site. But a lot of my childhood memories, not big arena cross tracks, but again, when I was on a 65 to an 80, I probably said this, in shows before this, but my childhood memories were me and my dad in our white cargo van driving all over the States racing arena cross, like in the winter, because I had spring break, right? So I had 2 weekends and I had winter break. So winter holiday and spring break, we'd always load up and drive down, and whether it was in like Minnesota, North Dakota, like Washington, the states that were the cold states, we do arena cross. We go the farther south we went, we did outdoor track. So my whole life really growing up, we did arena cross. It was a lot of Mickey Mouse tracks and stuff, but it was some of the funnest times and the best racing we ever did. And it was actually really cool. One of the arena crosses that we did pretty often, we'd go down every weekend in the States. There was a arena cross track in the middle and a flat track all around the outside. So we would show up and we would have our race bikes, and my dad would always race the pro class on his race bike, not a flat track bike, and always win the Dash for Cash, and everyone would always be mad, and it was really funny. But yeah, I mean, we did it all. So I probably tried every kind of racing under the sun, except endurocross, which I hope to do in the near future here. So
speaking of
motocross is full of stories, man. If you've been doing it as long as I have, we got a story for everything. And that's the cool thing about racing. You don't really remember the race and what place you got. You remember the story about how you got there, the people you met, and how much fun you had, and the crazy shenanigans that happened along the way. Honestly, that's what I remember. I couldn't tell you what place I got at that Tulsa Arena Cross. I kind of got dead last. But I can tell you the whole story going to it. So just shows you what motorsports is really about.
Yeah. Speaking of enduro and arena cross and that, we switching gears, we got a question from Gillies. Hopefully I'm getting that right. He's from Belgium, living in London. Shot you and I an email. He wants us to get Johnny Walker 22 on the show. I know Johnny is a Red Bull athlete, hard enduro over there in Europe. I'll definitely reach out to him. I'd love to do that interview. It'd be an awesome interview, So we'll definitely reach out to him. Thanks for shooting us an email, and love hearing from our European listeners. And I'll definitely reach out to Johnny. I follow him on social media, and I probably got an email address somewhere, so I'll drop him a line and see if we can get him dialed in for an interview. But like we've always said, if you want to hear an interview, hit us up, and if it fits within the show, we'll definitely try and make it happen. So
yeah, definitely. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So that being said, we got to take a short commercial break. We come back. Miss Supercross 2016, Juliana Daniell will be on the line with Amy and I here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR.
I'm Polaris rider Levi LaValle, and I choose Polaris just because they have the best quality, highest performing, most fun machines out there.
Only one company has taken Levi LaValle to 10 X Games medals, snowcross championships, a double backflip, and a world record long jump of 412 feet across the San Diego Harbor on New Year's Eve, and that company is Polaris. Whether it's dominating the X Games, racing a stock Polaris RZR XP1000 in the Terracross Championship, or just hitting the trail on the weekend, for over 20 years, Levi has relied on the same quality Polaris vehicles and products you can purchase at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of action sports legend Levi LaValle and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners. And for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
MTX Audio is the leader in sound. Whether you're looking for high-quality, all-weather motorsports audio products like soundbars, amplifiers, and speakers that will work on any UTV or motorcycle, need to dial in your car or home with high-performance audio solutions, or are looking for a new portable speaker or set of headphones, MTX Audio has what you need to get your project sounding as good as it looks. MTX Audio is a family-owned American manufacturer who has been in business for over 40 years. Check out the full line of products at mtx.com. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver, Amy Hood here, joined on the line by Miss Supercross herself, Juliana Daniell. How's everything going, Juliana?
It is going so great. How are y'all doing?
I'm awesome.
Yeah, it's all good here. It's kind of cool to get you back on air now. You know, we got you, I think, right after the first race of the season, and now you've had, full season of Miss Supercross. It's kind of cool to get you back on air and be able to kind of go full circle with this.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be back. I'm glad it worked out, and it is crazy that the season's already over. I honestly can't believe it, but yeah, I'm glad to be back and talk with you guys.
Well, Juliana, I got a question for you. From that very first race in Anaheim to now the shootout in Vegas, you have seen and been through it all, and really on the ground level. So my question for you is, what has changed on your outlook of the sport of Supercross? Now before you were Miss Supercross to now.
Oh my gosh, so much. That's such a hard. You guys would have to lengthen your show extensively if I really answer how many things have changed for me. But in a nutshell, I mean everything. I cannot express how happy I have been to learn more about the sport, learn more about the families that these guys have and they come from, what it has taken to get them to where they are. That, I think, has been the most intriguing thing for me. I just didn't know how it all worked for them. And I have literally loved hearing the stories of these families that, a lot of these guys have been doing this since they were, barely able to walk, and their families literally live and breathe this sport for life. And they sacrifice day in and day out so that these guys can come out, and girls, and, and do what they love. And that has been the most eye-opening thing for me. And it still floors me that is what it has taken. That's what these guys and these families do. And then just really being able to get to know the riders and their families. And I mean, they're such a welcoming group, and it's like a whole new love for the sport, because I already enjoyed it. Like, I love sports in general, and I love just like the competitive nature that you have to have and being able to watch it. And I literally, even this past weekend in Vegas, I still find myself every weekend at some point during the race, it just hits me, and I'm like, oh my God, look at what these guys are doing. I mean, it is insane what they're doing.
Yeah, I think TV dumbs it down almost. I mean, it's one of the most exciting motorsports to watch on TV. But if you're down there on the track and actually do a track walk and you see how big these doubles and triples these guys are clearing, I mean, it puts it into perspective. You're like, oh my gosh, look how far they're jumping.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't understand, because there's so many people that watch TV and they've never been able to go to a race. And I actually started understanding that that's how a good portion of the fans are. So I tried to do Supercross Live, got their own Snapchat recently, and I tried really hard to give the fans that aren't able to be at the actual track kind of like a view of what it looks like. And I had so many people saying, oh my God, thank you for that view. It's really cool to see it that way. You don't see it like that on TV. And so, yeah, I mean, TV definitely doesn't do it justice. I have to say to anyone listening, if you guys ever had the chance to go to an actual race and be there in person, do it. You will not regret it, I promise.
Yeah, there was one, and I can't remember which track it was. It was a couple of weeks back, but you posted something, I think it was to your feed, but you were standing in one of the ruts, and it literally, you were like knee deep in the ruts. And I mean, that
Yes.
put it into perspective. I was like, wow.
I mean, and what's crazy about that photo was that I still had on my boots, like my high boots. So that thing, I mean, it was like halfway off my leg, and I had on huge shoes. So, I mean, those were incredible. And I mean, every weekend there's some spot on the track that has something like that, but I mean, those ruts were, they were gnarly out there. But gosh, yeah, people like to see that photo. It was fun.
You go from that to rain boots in Vegas this week, right?
Oh my God. I was that special person that didn't bring rain boots or a rain jacket or anything of the sort, because I'm like, oh, it's Vegas, it doesn't rain there. Nah, I don't need any of that stuff. And then it was just, oh my God, madness.
Yeah. But I think that was one of the first Vegases you've actually missed, right, Amy?
Yep, this is one of the first Vegases, I think, in 5 years, the East-West Shootout that I missed. So bummed, and it kind of sucks because it was, something popped up last minute, which can't really talk about, Jim, you and I was saving the world, but I had to, cancel my hotel reservations and send that devastating text to all my friends, and I had to miss it. But, I love the East-West Shootout. You really get to see what coast brings it, and you really get to see the teams battle each other, in the Lights class especially, and it's such a cool event. There's always so much going on in the pit, and it's just definitely one not to miss. And it's kind of cool also because it's the last round of the year. And, as soon as that race is done, everyone can exhale, it seems, and everybody kind of kicks off those boots and relaxes, and the banquet, everyone gets together and, dances and has a good time, and it's just it's one of those, it's great environment, a great feel for that round, and I love it. Yeah, and I couldn't imagine, it never rains in Vegas. I couldn't imagine how that race would be, in the mud and the muck, but I'm sure you got a little taste of everything, Juliana, coming up to Toronto. I'm sure it was freezing cold, to pouring rain and all the different rounds. What do you say was your favorite round? Because I love to hear the stories. I love to hear, your personal experience from all these things, because I can really relate to myself. But what has been your favorite round and kind of why?
It's funny. Dave Prater, my boss, actually asked me the same question last night at our team dinner. And I was thinking, I was like, you know what, Dave, I don't have a favorite round because for me, every single round was new. I had been to a couple of those stadiums, when I worked with Falcon Tire, but every single round doing the job that I was doing was brand new to me. So it's like looking back, there is a favorite part from every round, just whether it was the fans I got to meet or watching the guys build the track, or like this weekend watching the guys fix the track, which you're going, oh my God, are they really going to be able to do this? And then when it happens, you're like, that was insane, and it was a miracle. They're literally like God's gift to the sport this past weekend. But I really don't have a favorite race. I just can't pick. It wouldn't be fair if I picked one. So literally it was just every single weekend I was so excited because it was going to be new and different. I really, like I said, I cannot believe it's over. It went so fast.
You have a memorable experience. I remember, I feel the same way. Every time I travel, every place I go, I don't have a favorite one because everything is different and it's so exciting any place I go. I love it all. But I do remember once when, back in the day when there is the Minneapolis Supercross, Ryan Dungey being the local hometown boy, I think he was in third place, moved to second, and then the whole stadium stood up and were cheering him on, and he passed for the lead, and it honestly brought me chills up my spine. I couldn't even imagine how that happened. It was unreal, and he won the race, and the fans went crazy, and that was probably my most memorable experience from a Supercross ever, because I couldn't believe the fan dedication to the sport and that one rider, and it was really remarkable to see, and that kind of changed my outlook on the whole industry. But did you have a memorable experience this year?
Yeah, I think that for me the most emotional one that I had was definitely this past weekend, mainly because I was just so nervous for them. To be down there and see how much water was on the dirt and how the dirt looked, and then you're sitting there, and it's like you're nervous, you're excited, that they're going to be fine. That's what they train for. They put themselves in those situations, during practice so that they can be able to do it at an actual race. But it was it was just so intense because, especially for that 250 race, that 250 main, I mean, even with it being shortened, it was still like, oh my God, like what's going to happen? Is this guy? And then, you know, I mean, it was just, to watch it was like so much fun because it was such a good race. At the same time, I was so nervous because I'm going, oh my God, are they going to do okay over there? Are they going to, like, I mean, and it's just, I watched a little bit just of like some clips from it, that, you know, because when you're down on the track, you can't see it all. And just watching some of those guys who, I mean, granted, you couldn't even see who was who because they're all covered in dirt, but some of those wrecks and some of those guys that, I mean, it literally, it's like I'm standing there going, oh my God, don't pull your hair out. Don't look so worried. Like, act like it, you know, I mean, but I was so just emotionally involved last night or Saturday night because I was scared for them. I didn't want them to get injured. I wanted them all to like do well and have a successful race. But at the same time, it was so nerve-wracking.
Mud races, everything changes. It's all about almost a little bit of luck more than training, and it's one of those that, you know, you can have a little tiny accident and it'll all be over for that leader and the winner. And it's mud races, it's anybody's game. It's perseverance, you know, outruns it all. But you know, Juliana, I really, just hearing you talk about the series and what you've taken away from the 2015 Supercross, they couldn't have done a more fantastic job of choosing a Miss Supercross to represent the sport for what it is. You know, the families, the riders, you know, they say it takes a village to raise a family, but it takes a whole village to, you know, have a successful Supercross racer. And, you know, just how you talk about your experience, I couldn't have asked for a better Miss Supercross. You've done a fantastic job. I hope you come back next year. What's next for you?
Well, let's see. By the way, so much for that. I really do appreciate that. It's been really fun to do what I do. So thank you for saying thank you. Next for me, well, I'm hoping that I get to come back. They haven't said whether or not I am, so I'm hoping that I will get. Well, thank you. So that would be just amazing if they had me back. But next for me, I'm actually I was working with the supplement company up until December, and I didn't renew my contract with them, but as of a couple weeks ago, they reached out and probably going to get back on board with them and do similar things to what I used to do, but and a little bit more involved as far as maybe do some blogging, some writing, just kind of make it more of a actual job and position instead of just being like their sponsored athlete, the face of their product. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'll be going back to Atlanta on Wednesday, actually, to go meet with them and kind of talk it out and see what we can come up with that everyone's happy with. And also I'm going to just try to get some more hosting work out here in Los Angeles. I have a reel put together, and I'm going to be adding in my stuff from inside the races and the stuff that I did with Fox Sports and adding that into my reel and then sending it to people, and hopefully that, you know, hope that I'll just get some extra work when I can, because, you know, I have a passion for hosting. So that's kind of the goal, is to stay within my fitness love that I have with my supplement company and then kind of break open those doors to the hosting world. So if it's in sports, if it's entertainment, I don't care. I love them both. So any work I would take. So that's kind of the plan right now, and it's just a matter of what happens.
The outdoor series, you know, make a little blip on your radar? Do you think you're going to attend a couple of the outdoor motocross series this year?
I don't know. People were asking that, and if they were to say, hey, could you be involved? Absolutely. I would for sure be involved in that, but I don't know. I don't know if that's something they have done in the past or would like me to do, but I'm absolutely open to it for sure.
You feel like now, that the season's over. I mean, I've traveled with multiple different motorsports series, the past couple of years as an on-air talent. It seems like at the end, it becomes your family. It's like a big traveling circus, and the circus goes from city to city to city, and you've got this family that's not really your family, but it's like your adopted family. And then when it's over with at the end of the year, you're like, oh crap, it's kind of weird. I might not see these people for like 6-8 months. Do you kind of have that feeling now, because these people, they've been with you for 6 months?
You couldn't have said it more perfectly. It was last night. We had our team dinner, and it's so weird. I literally was going, you guys. First of all, what does one do on a Saturday night? Because I don't know, because I don't remember, because my Saturdays have been Supercross for so long. And then I was like, what am I going to do without all of y'all? Like, it's going to be so weird, because they literally are family. And I told him, I was like, can we have like a quarterly get together so that we can all see each other and it's not just like this all of a sudden you're with each other all the time and it's like just nothing. I mean, it's really, really sad because a lot of these people, you know, I got close with, and I don't know what I'm going to do. It's going to be very weird. This weekend's going to be very, very weird for me, for sure. I'm not looking forward to it at all.
Everybody's going to be at home texting each other, you know? It's going to be, this big group text.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll just all watch replays and make us feel like we're still doing it. I don't know. It's going to be so strange.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to call in today. I don't know. Do you have anything left for Juliana before we let her go, Amy?
No, I just hope you come and check out an outdoor race. It's a completely different ball game as well. It is cutthroat, it is gnarly and hot, and it's it'd be cool for you to come and see that side of the motocross industry too. But yeah, I hope you're back next year for sure. I think you did a fantastic job at representing the sport and keeping it classy, and I just think you're a great face of the Supercross industry, definitely.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, the door is definitely open to you anytime you want on air, Juliana, and wishing you all the best, and hopefully see you back.
Thank you all so much. I appreciate it, and I love talking to you guys, and I'm sure I'll talk to you soon.
Keep in touch.
All right. Y'all take care. All right. Bye.
Awesome having Juliana Daniell on air. And we're going to take a short commercial break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, and wrap things up.
Hey, I'm RJ Anderson, factory Polaris driver, and I drive Polaris because it's the most capable, race-ready off-road vehicle on the market.
When RJ Anderson wanted to set a world record for the longest UTV jump in history, not once but twice, what company did he trust? Polaris and their championship-winning RZR XP1000. RJ is a UTV champion behind the wheel of Polaris vehicles, and he exclusively trusts the Polaris RZRs to bring him race wins and championships against some of the toughest off-road racers in the world. The same Polaris RZRs RJ has won championships in, set world records in, and conquered the Wall of Death in XP1K2 are available to you at your local Polaris dealer. Take the advice of world record holder RJ Anderson and visit Polaris on the web at Polaris.com to see the full lineup of Polaris RZR vehicles, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris RZR.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Come to the island and rip it up this summer. Wakeboard Island. It's a skate park on water at Blue Water Resort and Casino. Check out the 2-tower cable system that pulls you and your board over the water. No boats to watch out for, no fumes. Wakeboard Island is open to all skill levels with an open center section for beginners, and for trick riders, a double side kicker in a 60-foot flat box. Wakeboard Island, the best ride this side of the Rockies. Adjacent to the River's Edge Cantina at Blue Water Resort and Casino on the Colorado River in Parker, Arizona.
For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible. Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Jim Beaver here, and Wrapping things up, Amy Hood is checked out once again. Man, she is bouncing off the walls today. But good to have her back. Good to be back on air. Thanks to all you for tuning in. I want to make mention before we wrap things up here, Destry Abbott. We talked about that breaking news during the show, and I'm getting messages here as we speak on things, and I'm going to kind of read some stuff for you. They started a GoFundMe. So Destry, obviously, professional, motorcycle racer, also has his DA8 riding schools. So basically when he's not working, it's he's not making any money, but they're going to have a long list of medical bills with this fight for leukemia. They did start today a GoFundMe. It's called the Destry Abbott Leukemia Fund. I will share it on my Instagram here in just a bit, but definitely go do it. It's DA8 Training at DA8 Training on Instagram. I'm sure it's on Facebook, but Endurocross has shared it. Destry Abbott shared it. His daughter Kelsey Faye Abbott at Kelsey Faye Abbott has shared it. So definitely Destry is just a solid gold human being, and done a lot for motorsport, and just talk about a shocker. But definitely thoughts and prayers going out to them, and all of you, if you can, whether it's anything from $1 to $100 or even more, please get please donate to that. So I'll as soon as we get off air today, I'll make sure and post that up to my social media. But definitely want to thank Polaris Razor, General Tire, Subaru, KC Highlights, Gibson Exhaust, DirtFish Rally School, MTX Audio, Terracross, Blue Water Resort and Casino, Wakeboard Island for all the support of the show. We got Motocross, Red Bull GRC. We've got X Games coming up, Formula Drift, Baja 500, Lucas, Torque, World Rallycross, you name it, it's happening. Make sure and give me a follow at JimBeaver15 on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook.com/DownAndDirtyShow, DownAndDirtyShow.com for all those back episodes. It's at AmyHood71 on Instagram and Twitter. Follow her as well. Download our app, available on Apple, iTunes, Google Play, and the Amazon Kindle store. And big thanks to Tanner Foust, Juliana Daniell, as well as Jamie Ward-Luberg and Joe Duncan for making the show happen today. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. We'll be locked and loaded next week with some of the best action motorsports radio you can find anywhere. And, as always, game on.